Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to my Kindle Unlimited book recommendations video. Before we start, my name is Emily, I'm 27 years old and I like to make reading my entire personality. So let's get into it. If you don't know, Kindle Unlimited is a subscription that you can get and it gives you full access to the library of titles that are part of Kindle Unlimited. Kindle Unlimited is an amazing way to support indie authors, and traditionally published books are also available on Kindle Unlimited, but it usually won't be every book by that author. I've found some of my favorite reads on Kindle Unlimited, so I definitely recommend giving it a try, even if it's just for a few months. So here are some of my favorite Kindle Unlimited titles if you are thinking of maybe trying it out or you're looking to get a few new recommendations. I'm also going to talk about a few that I didn't love and my current KU TBR. If you have any Kindle Unlimited recommendations for me, please let me know in the comments so I can add them to my TBR. I'm going to start with a few fantasy titles, which means I have to start with my absolute favorite read of 2024, which was Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I would give this book 1,000 stars if I could. The magic system is so unique, the enemies to lovers is perfection, the female main character is scrappy and she is such a survivor, and the male main character is so crazy for her in the best way, and he's also just crazy in general. So overall, I was just fully immersed in this story, and I'm so excited for book 2, which we'll hopefully have a date for soon. I've seen people say that they thought that this book starts out kind of slow, but in my opinion, I think it does jump right in, and I was immediately hooked, and I fully believe that this deserves all the hype that it's getting. Up next, I have the Zodiac Academy series. Now, full disclosure, I was in a Zodiac Academy spiral in 2023 and I binged all of the books that were out at that time. And since then, I think my taste has changed a bit and I actually haven't finished the series. But I don't think I need to. I think I got what I wanted from these books at the time and I don't regret reading them for a second. They were so fun in the best way. Basically, we're following twin sisters who find out they're actually Fae nobility and they're sent to a university to hopefully one day step into their throne. But now there's other heirs that are competing with them since they've been living in the human world for their whole life and they don't know anything about this world. I would definitely give them a try, and if you don't like them after book 2, I think it's safe to say that you tried, but they do get better as the series progresses, and then I think it does go downhill around the midpoint, but the story's still interesting. Next, I have the Kindred's Curse series, with Glow of the Everflame being first by Penn Cole. This one has gotten a lot of love recently, and for good reason. Basically, the story follows Diem as she navigates a world where the balance of power is heavily skewed towards those who are descendants of the gods of this world, and mortals are treated really poorly by the descended offspring of the gods. She ends up tossed in with them and things kind of progress from there, and I did not see the twist coming at the end of this one. The male main character is chef's kiss. Definitely recommend reading this series. I also read the second one so far, and I'll definitely continue with it at some point, but I haven't picked up the third one just yet. You can really just tell that the author put their heart and soul into this book, and I really appreciate that. Up next, I have One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig, and this is another amazing book with the actual most unique magic system I've ever read. The magic in this world is centered around playing cards and the powers that the holders of these cards can possess. The writing is so atmospheric and I actually felt like I was literally in this mist-covered forest as I read it, and just, I don't know, it's just so unique and I really recommend this one if you're looking for something gothic and new and different. On to some romance. First, I have Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I like to describe this one as Schitt's Creek meets Grey's Anatomy. Honestly, no one writes banter like Abby Jimenez. She literally has me laughing out loud during pretty much all of her books. I really don't know how she does it. And in this one, our main character, Alexis, is trying to grapple with her family's unrealistic expectations while she's falling in love with someone she never expected to fall in love with. The male main character is the definition of golden retriever energy, and the story is just so sweet and heartwarming, and I really loved it. My last recommendation is Fragile Sanctuary by Catherine Cowles. This is like if Criminal Minds was a romance first and a crime show second. I'm really a big fan of Criminal Minds, even though I really don't like scary, suspenseful things like that, because I would truly do anything for Spencer Reid, and I think you would also enjoy this if you like Criminal Minds. This one follows an ex-FBI profiler who is running from his demons and his past, and a woman who lives in a small town who also has a really tragic past. So in classic romance fashion, they work through this together, but there's also a really interesting mystery element to it, which adds another layer, and I really liked it. Now, I just want to talk about a few that I didn't love, but maybe you will like them. The first one I have is Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider. The back of this book doesn't give too much away, and it's kind of hard to explain with a short description, but overall, this is a story about a journey of the main character learning about herself and her past with the help of someone that she knew from her past. This isn't a bad book, and while I do think it needed a bit more polish, I definitely would have given it like 4 or 4.5 stars if it wasn't for the ending. I was really interested in where the story was going, and I did really love the male main character. I just don't enjoy twists like the ending to this book, and I truly don't think it really made a lot of sense given the point of view of the story. So I probably won't continue with this series, but if this author writes something else, I would give it a try. And I know some readers do really like the ending, so I think it just depends on your preference. Another one I didn't love was Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. Sometimes really long romances work for me and sometimes they don't, and this is one that didn't work for me. I do think it had really great mental health representation and I liked the premise of the story and the small town, but I was just a little bored reading it. I would still recommend this if you do like those very character-driven long romances with a lot of like internal monologue and like finding yourself in the world. And finally, I wanted to talk about some of the books on my Kindle Unlimited TBR. So the first one I have is The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi. I actually have a hard copy of this that's been on my TBR for a while, so I definitely want to try to get to this soon. My brother got it for me for my birthday, I think 2 years ago, so this is on my 2025 TBR for sure. And now that I know that it's on Kindle Unlimited, I think I'm more likely to read it just because it's hard to bring a hardcover on the subway when I'm commuting, so this just makes it more accessible to me, so this one's definitely on my 2025 TBR. Next on the KU TBR is Daughter of No Worlds. I've heard if you like Throne of Glass, you'll love this one, and I absolutely love Throne of Glass with every fiber of my being, so I have truly, truly high hopes for this one. I have 5-star predictions for it. I also want to read Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I really loved her Chestnut Springs series, which is also on KU, by the way, and I think Reckless is the first one, but I always get them confused. So definitely check that one out. But this is her next small town romance book series, and I think the first one in the series is a billionaire romance, but I'm not sure. And last but not least, I have the newest romantic suspense book by Catherine Cowles. I think it's called All the Missing Pieces, and I think it has something to do with a true crime podcaster trying to find information on her missing sister. And I'm drawn to books that have like podcasts incorporated into them, so I'm definitely adding this one to my 2025 TBR. Okay, that's it from me for today. Thank you so much for joining me today to chat about some book recs. I hope maybe you got a new recommendation from this video or added something to your TBR. If you did, let me know in the comments, and please like and subscribe. Bye for now.